welcome. Okay, feel free to get settled in. My name is Jay, and I'm the Director of Customer Experience here at TEAMZY. So honestly, that just means that I'm your resource, okay? I know everything about this system. I know, that sounds super humble, right? I swear I live, eat, and breathe TEAMZY. I've had the really great and unique opportunity of helping them to create the system from the ground up. So if you have questions, if you're thinking, I wonder if it works this way, I am the person to reach out to. So at the end of tonight's call, if you're thinking I'm not tech savvy or I don't even know where to start, not to worry, you will have a point of contact, okay? I'm gonna share my direct contact information with each of you so that you'll be able to reach out if, I don't know, things come up along the way. So stay tuned, I will share that contact information. Looks like everybody has joined us, so I'm gonna go ahead and make sure that I'm recording. So here's what I have planned for this evening, okay? I'm gonna come fast and furious with the information tonight. It's gonna feel a little bit like you're sipping from a fire hose, but I promise you are going to be in the right direction at the end of tonight's call. And if nothing else, you'll know who to call if you have questions. Okay, so we're gonna start by talking about setup. I know that can be, you know, the scary part for some people when they're thinking, I've got to transition my data over, or where is everything going to be? Not to worry, I'm going to talk you through all of the setup process, kind of give you some tips for navigating that painlessly, okay? Because I know for some of us who are not, you know, for some of you who aren't tech savvy, that can be the sort of the initial challenge, and I don't want that to be. So we're going to talk through that setup portion. Then after we talk setup, we're going to jump right into your power hour sessions. Because I don't know about you guys, but when I first got started, I didn't have all of these hours. You know, it wasn't a 9-to-5 gig for me. It was, you know, maybe an hour of time, 30 minutes, 20 minutes for some of us. And that's okay. It's about devoted time. It's about really maximizing on every minute that you have when you do have it. So I'm going to show you how TEAMZY is built for your real life, right? How it's designed to help you get in those really great, highly productive activities. And you're gonna hear me mention that a few times tonight, okay? So we're gonna go through your power hours, what tools you should really be focused on. And then last, but certainly not least, we're gonna talk about following up like a pro. Because I know it and you know it, the fortunes in the follow-up, but really that can be the uncomfortable part. People feel like they're nagging or bothering, or they just forget to do it altogether because it was in one system or another, or in a calendar or on a to-do list. I'm going to show you how all of it is going to live nicely in one little system so that you know that it's kind of like one-stop shopping. If I've completed all of the productive activities for the day, I can get back to the rest of my life. So let's jump right into TEAMZY, shall we? All right, guys, so I'm sharing my TEAMZY dashboard with you now. Before I go any further, it's important that you each know that you have access to a free 30-day trial of TEAMZY, okay? So no credit card now. Is basically going to jump into the system and really see if it's right for your dynamic, because there are lots of CRMs on the market today, okay? And that's the truth. We know that we're designing a system that's made for a very specific type of network marketer, someone who wants to build their business relationally. So I'm going to show you all of the features you should really kind of, you know, focus on, make sure that you're leaning into so you can get the most out of the system. So let's start by talking through setup. I might pop in and out of my presentation just to mute all of the lines to limit any background noise. If you feel the spirit move you, okay, you feel like you need to just get in here and let me know something, please unmute yourself. I'm open for it. Alrighty, so when we're talking setup in TEAMZY, you might have already jumped in and started that process. I promise I'm going to give you a couple of tips, or you know, maybe a bunch of tips during this next portion that you're going to want to jot down. So make sure you've got a pen and paper. When you're ready to get through setup, the easiest way to do that, in the upper right-hand corner, you have a little wheel. So you're gonna click on that wheel and come down to your setup wizard. Our setup wizard is basically our 3-step process, okay, for importing your contacts. So what you're gonna do here, so actually what we're noticing here is that my team has released a brand new version or a brand new tool in our TEAMZY. So just kind of a heads up for you. We're always adjusting and updating and including new features and tool sets for you. So this is one that we'll circle back to. All right, when we're ready for our setup wizard, okay, it's gonna be a 3-step process. Step 1, we're going to create an income goal in TEAMZY. So really the way that you want to consider it, okay, if you've been setting goals for yourself maybe on a weekly basis, monthly, some people do them quarterly. Really, in TEAMZY, you just want to consider at this stage, we just want to know, what do you want to make over the next 12 months, okay? What do you want to make over the next 12 months? Step 2, you're going to create your powerful why. Your powerful why statement, I'm talking to the right group, okay? Beachbody coaches understand tools like the powerful why. Sometimes you need a little bit of motivation. You need a little bit of a reminder in your own voice of why you're supposed to sort of be resilient in that moment, right? Why you're supposed to rise above or push through that challenging quitting point that will present itself. So we're going to help you create a powerful why right in your TEAMZY so that you know, as you're making some changes to behavior and, you know, building different habits, that you have a real resounding, that you've got a real reason for being in this and for continuing through. So step 2, we're going to create that powerful why. Step 3, we are going to import our contacts. Okay, so this can be the meat of setup. I know it's the hard part for some. Deep breath. No worries, you've got me in your corner. I promise if you get nothing, like if you hear no other words about setup from this portion forward, but you get my contact information, you are on the right track. Okay, so we're gonna hit start here and we are on with our setup wizard. So step 1, we're gonna create that income goal. Again, I want you to simply consider your next 12 months. If you're already killing 2017, go for your stretch goal, okay? This gives you the opportunity to do some strategic planning. Some of us have kind of had our heads down, okay, going after it a little bit since January, or, you know, whenever your year started, however you decided to get it off with a bang, you might want to sort of reconsider, or it might be time to course correct, okay, get back on track. So here's your chance. The one thing I like to say here, guys, this is not simply a pretty placeholder, okay? This isn't just something that you glance over at from time to time that's gonna give you the warm and fuzzies, okay? Make you feel good about your goal, your eventual goal. This number is actually going to be used by TEAMZY to calculate the number of highly productive activities you need to do every day, every week, every month, and eventually every year in order to stay on track with this income goal. So really, at this stage, take a moment and consider, we are actually going to challenge you, okay? Your daily activities are going to be based on this income. When you're satisfied, you'll hit continue. TEAMZY is going to take its initial swing at breaking down my goals. Okay, it says, well, Jay, you said you wanted to make $100,000. You're gonna need to connect 2,899 times over the next 12 months. So for some of us, that first number might seem really high. You're thinking, whoa, but really, if you were to stop and consider how many people you're already connecting with on a daily basis, got a ballpark figure? Okay, now figure it weekly, and then monthly, and then annually. The number would be staggering. If you could really take a step back and consider how many people you're already connecting with, some of us kind of unintentionally, this simply sets your eyes on the prize. TEAMZY is telling you if you want to get from A to B, this is a very defined path that you need to take to get there, okay? So 2,899 connects. Sounds like a lot. Come along with us. Let's see how that breaks down. TEAMZY lets me know, okay, Jay, $100,000, 2,899 connections. Really, that's only about 6 connections to my prospects, 4 to my existing customers, and 3 to existing coaches. So that's what the breakdown page does for you, is it takes that overall annual number and it's now giving you a bite-sized chunk, okay? You have to know, okay, even though you want to get from A to B, you know the path, sometimes it's important to know where I'm supposed to put my foot next. Like, what is the next sort of little path marker or milestone that I'm supposed to hit on my way to my goals? So that's what TEAMZY has done here. It's given you your recommendation based on that income that you entered. So for some of us, you might get to the recommendation here. For example, for me, it's 6, 4, and 3. I might be thinking to myself, oh, well, I do that many connections before breakfast, so I can definitely do that. You're awesome. If you're thinking that, keep up the great work, okay? Get in here and challenge yourself. TEAMZY has given you your immediate baseline of sorts, okay? If you want to get from A to B, here's the path. But if you want to hit that path going 100 miles an hour, do it. Get in there and say, you know what, I'm actually going to do 10 prospect connections every day, or I'm going to do 5 customer reach outs, or 3 coaches. you can, at this stage, sort of line your goals up with what your team's goals are. So if you guys have internal incentives, if you've got sort of like little challenge groups that are going on within your overall team, or maybe you're all trying to, I don't know, meet 10 new people or reach out to 10 new people a day, you can actually customize your goals at this stage to be parallel with your team's goals. Okay, so you've got a connection goal for prospect, customer, and coaches. Now let's say I'm okay with my connection goals. Okay, I'm gonna connect with 6 prospects, 4 customers, and 3 coaches every day. In addition to that, TEAMZY has also set a goal for daily invites and daily additions. Pardon me. So daily invites are going to be intentional calls to action, okay? Anytime you're working with someone and you invite them to join you for an event, challenge group, free groups, to try a product, anything like that, that again would be an intentional call to action for the person that you're sending it to. These items that you might want to follow up on, okay? These are going to be things that we know get you a little bit closer to your income goal. So we're going to set that as a separate, highly productive activity, okay? So you're going to be connecting with your prospects, with your customers, and with your coaches. But then you're also going to be challenged to invite them to join you for the business opportunity, to join you for a challenge group, to try the product, to join you for events, things that, like I said, get you a little bit closer to those goals. So you've got your daily invite, and then you're going to have your daily additions. So TEAMZY is designed as a lead generation system. Okay, I usually like to start there. This is more than just an organizational tool. It's more than just a tracking app. We designed this to be a lead generation tool. Lead generation tools are systems that initiate inquiry or interest into the products and services that you offer. A lead generation system or a lead generation tool simply initiates inquiry or interest into the products and services that you offer. And that's what we've designed TEAMZY to be at its core. So yes, there will be other activity items that are kind of pushing you toward your income goal, but we're also driving you to build your team. Have you introduced anyone new to the products and services that you offer today? That's going to be your additions goal. Have you added anyone new? Introduced anybody new? Okay, so each of these goals, including your invite and your additions goal, can be customized. So you can click right in here and say, you know what, actually our team wants to invite 5 people, or you know what, we've got a goal of adding 5 new people to our database of potential, or you know, to add 3 new customers, or whatever the case is. Know that you have the option to customize your goals at this stage. So let's say I'm accepting the recommendation from TEAMZY. I can hit continue when I'm ready, and it's going to move me along to the next step in the process, which is finding my powerful why. So when I'm ready to create my powerful why, again, if it's something that you're thinking, oh, I've never heard of this before, what would I do here? This video actually walks you through the process and kind of talks you through why that would be something that's particularly important or vital to this process. Really, you want to consider your powerful why to be a reminder in your own voice at the end of the night sometimes, reminding you why you should get up and do it again, okay? Why after you were met with challenges and rejections and outright objections, okay? Why you should get up and rally, why in that moment you should be resilient or persistent. This is going to be your powerful why tool. So when you're ready, you'll hit continue. And TEAMZY is going to walk you through that process, okay? Even if you've never created a powerful why before. Answering the question at a time. Why did you become a coach? What did you hope to accomplish? Why is that important to you? Each question is designed to deepen your overall why statement. So just go in there and answer a question at a time. When you've gotten to the bottom of this field, at the bottom of the exercise, if your powerful why is not appearing in that very final paragraph where it says my why, you're going to want to make sure you go back and save it in that final paragraph, even if it means going back and actually copying and pasting the fields above. When you're ready, you'll hit continue, and TEAMZY is going to move us through the 3rd step in setup, which is that import process, okay? So make sure you've got a pen and paper so that we can go over those steps. So I'm going to start by chatting through with you the order in which you should import your contacts into TEAMZY. So we know that some of you are going to be consolidating lists, right? You've got one list in Facebook, one in your Beachbody back office, one in LinkedIn, one in your cell phone. Not to worry. TEAMZY is designed to help you consolidate all of those lists and create a master list of sorts. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk you through kind of the best practices, or what you should do or what steps you should follow to bring each of those lists into the system. The first thing that you want to keep in mind in TEAMZY is that TEAMZY has a duplicate filter that's built right into the system. So every single time I add a file to TEAMZY, it's going to be scrubbing it down for duplicates, cross-referencing the individuals that already exist in my database, and telling me, okay, you know what, these 5 people are already in the system. I brought in only the new 10 people. So keeping in mind, TEAMZY has a duplicate filter built right in. All right, when you are ready to import your contacts into the system, you want to start with your customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. You want to start with your customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. Once you've got your customers and coaches settled into TEAMZY, then I want you to focus on any custom spreadsheets you may have created, okay? You know the ones I mean, with the color-coded column, every single note you've ever sent the person, it's got the next follow-up date on it. Those are awesome. Bring them into the system, okay? You've spent quite a bit of time compiling that information, so definitely bring it in and leverage that. We're starting with our customers and coaches from our Beachbody back office. Then from there, we're gonna bring in any custom spreadsheets. After your custom spreadsheets, go ahead and focus on your cell phone contacts, your mobile phone. So you've got an address book on your cell phone, which you can in fact pull a list of, whether you're an Android or an iPhone user, okay? If you stay tuned, I will show you the instructions for actually exporting from your mobile device. All right, so again, customers and coaches from our Beachbody back office. Then from there, you're gonna go ahead and bring in any custom spreadsheets you have created, any of those custom spreadsheets. Then you're gonna go over to your cell phone or your mobile phone contacts, Android or iPhone users, okay? You can go ahead and bring in your mobile phone contacts. After your mobile phone contacts, I want you to consider your email services. Email services. Are you a Gmail user, Outlook, Yahoo, AOL? Honestly, if the email service that you're using is more than likely compiling an address book for you, sometimes it can be a mixed bag because it's every single person you've corresponded with through email. But it can also be a great pool of people that might have been underserved until now. So you can definitely bring in those email services, okay? So again, we're doing customers and coaches from our Beachbody back office, Beachbody back office. Then we're gonna go over to those custom spreadsheets. Once you've got your custom spreadsheets in, I want you to bring in your mobile phone or your cell phone contacts. Once you've got your mobile phone contacts in there, go ahead and bring in your email services. Gmail, Outlook, Yahoo, 365, AOL, whatever the case is, check out your address book and see if that's something that you want to leverage in TEAMZY. Once we've got our email services in the system, then I want you to focus on LinkedIn connections. LinkedIn connections. Okay. The reason I mentioned LinkedIn specifically now is because LinkedIn is a social media-ish platform that will in fact allow you to own your information. So when you hit export, you're gonna get great information like phone numbers, email addresses, where they currently work, their current title, great information that's actually usable, okay? You can kind of work from there. As opposed to social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, which only allow you to pull a list of first and last names, okay? So again, from the top, we are starting with our customers and coaches, existing customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. From there, go ahead and bring in any custom spreadsheets you may have created. After you've got those custom spreadsheets taken care of, you can bring in your cell phone or your mobile phone contacts. After mobile phone contacts, you can bring in your email services, Yahoo, Gmail, Outlook. After you've got your email services loaded, you can go ahead and focus on LinkedIn connections. LinkedIn connections. Again, stay tuned. I'm going to show you where you can access the instructions for each of these locations. All right, once you've got your LinkedIn connections in TEAMZY and every other file that Jay mentioned is nicely nestled into your TEAMZY, you can now focus on your Facebook list, okay? The reason that I mentioned Facebook last is not that it is less instrumental or that it would be less beneficial to you to have in your system. Only that, unfortunately, Facebook is held to some of the highest security and privacy policies that exist anywhere, not just on the internet. So in that case, they cannot simply allow you to export a list of their users' data. The way they protect you, they have to protect everyone else. So you are essentially going to get a list of first and last names from Facebook. This is still gold, my friends, okay? Because you are now creating a master list. No one's gonna fall through the cracks. No more simply serving the low-hanging fruit, okay? The people that like and love everything that you post on Facebook. It'd be nice to connect with only them. Yeah, they're awesome. And continue serving them. Fantastic. But you cannot lose sight of everybody else on your list, okay? It can't just be the low-hanging fruit. So definitely bring in those Facebook lists. All right, guys, we're gonna go over that list one more time from the top. We're starting with our customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. Customers and coaches from your Beachbody back office. 2, we're gonna go ahead and bring in any of those custom spreadsheets you may have created, okay? Custom spreadsheets. Number 3, I want you to bring in your cell phone or your mobile phone contacts. Pardon me, iPhone or Android users. Sorry guys, I'm coming to you live from the high desert of California. It can get seriously dry up here. Sorry, I'm just gonna take a sip of water. Okay, so custom spreadsheets. We're doing your mobile phone contacts. Then I want you to bring in your email services. Email services, Yahoo, Gmail, Outlook. After your email services, you can bring your LinkedIn connections. LinkedIn connections. After your LinkedIn connections, feel free to bring in your Facebook file. All right, guys, so that's the order you should consider when you're importing into TEAMZY. You want to keep in mind that duplicate filter is always searching for duplicates, okay? If you want to bring in any files that I have not mentioned, you absolutely can. You want to make sure they're in a spreadsheet format that's known as CS, comma, separated value, CSV. So any files that you want to bring into TEAMZY, you absolutely can. You simply want to consider the format that you're bringing them into the system. Again, I'm always a resource for you if you just want to run it by me. All right, guys, so now that we've covered the order, a couple of exporting from each of those locations, okay? Starting with your Beachbody back office. Some recent changes have rolled out for Beachbody, okay? As many of you know. So in that case, what you just want to pay attention to this video here. We have updated it. They made very, very small changes for your process, well as far as exporting and bringing into TEAMZY. But ultimately, if you follow this video, it will walk you through the steps of exporting your customer list and your existing coaches list. With that, what I do want to say here, okay, is that you want to keep in mind that Beachbody has your full detailed genealogy report, right? That's going to include everyone on your team. Or you can choose to import only the people that are personally sponsored to you. So that's the one thing that I want you to consider when you're exporting from Beachbody. Do I want to bring in my entire hierarchy, so everyone on my team? Or do I want to bring in only the individuals that are personally sponsored to me? Individuals that I'm directly responsible for guiding and checking in with and following up with, that sort of thing, okay? So that first video is going to walk you through Beachbody. Once you've gotten Beachbody underway, okay, and you've brought in any of those other files, the next video on this page is going to walk you through exporting your Facebook file. So with Facebook, the one thing that you want to keep in mind here is that unfortunately Facebook is going through a growing pain as well, okay? So it's not necessarily that the whole process has changed. Only some people are affected. So I'm going to give you a scenario. If this sounds like something that you're experiencing, then go ahead and try this troubleshoot, okay? So with Facebook, they've adjusted the way that some people can pull their information. If you went through the video saying, I followed the instructions, I did everything you said, and my file never came. I never received the email from Facebook. In that case, you're included, okay? Head back to Facebook. So we're going to go ahead and open Facebook. I'll show you really quickly in real time. Once you've got Facebook open, up your carrot icon, the upside down triangle, you can go through these steps before, so this is familiar. Your last option on your account is going to download a copy of Facebook data. Again, follow the scenario you would have already steps. This time around, skip that step, pop the file right in. It's just wait. So in that case, if you've been waiting any more than 1 hour's time, again, if you have been waiting any more than 1 hour's time for your Facebook data, head back to those Facebook settings, check out that download my archive button. It might just go ahead and get you right through that. Any other challenges, reach out to me directly. All right, so we're back in TEAMZY. Again, each of these videos are going to walk you through, that one's going to walk you through Facebook. And then the very last video will be walking you through taking those files into TEAMZY. Now, I know I mentioned a few other locations like LinkedIn, your mobile phone contacts. Stick with me, okay? I'm going to show you your university tool where you can access all those instructions. So we will hit continue. Let's say we're ready to import those contacts into the system, or we're ready to bring our first file into TEAMZY. But, oh darn, I don't remember the format, she said. Can't remember any of the words that she was saying. That's okay. We built a filter into this place, okay? So that if you're not sure, just choose your file. Don't organize over the stage. Select it, and TEAMZY will tell you yes or no, okay? So let's go ahead and choose a file. TEAMZY is going to run that initial filter that I just mentioned, and it gives you my little green check mark saying uploaded. That's what you're looking for, okay? If it gives you the little red X or the spinning wheel of doom, what have you, just go ahead and reach out for help. You might even see my contact information flash up on the screen. Otherwise, you reach out to me. It's more than likely just that the format's off. It could be in an Excel format. That's usually the most standard issue there. But otherwise, like I said, I'm always here to help. Okay, so now that we have selected a file that TEAMZY likes, okay, it's ready to import those contacts. Now what we can do before we hit continue here, I can go ahead and select advanced import options. That's going to open up a few additional choices for me before I bring those contacts in. When you're at the stage where you're sort of consolidating your many lists into one master list, you're going to want to stack the odds in your favor, okay? And by doing, when I say that, I mean that you might have one list from your Facebook, then one list from LinkedIn, and one list from your phone contacts. Go ahead and label these lists or tag them in TEAMZY so that you know at one glance the nature of that relationship, or just a single identifier that will help jog your memory when you're looking at a list of 200, 500, 1,000 names for some of us. So what I would do, let's say I know that this is a list of my Facebook friends. I can click right in the tag field and I can type right in Facebook. So now I will know, because it's going to apply that to every single person, whether there be 20 names on this list or 5,000, okay? It'll apply the word Facebook to each of their profiles. So when they come up for follow-up, I will know at one glance, oh, you're a Facebook friend, or, oh, that's right, you were in my May challenge group or something. This is simply food for thought, okay? Kind of getting your wheels spinning. If you have batched lists of people like a challenge groups, or people that have maybe come to events that you want to follow on, or what have you, like, can be imported, and then you can quickly say, a challenge group for, I'm going to use May as an example. You guys understand me. Let's pretend I knew what today's month was, what this month was. So you can add as many or as few tags as you'd like at this stage. These are completely customizable. So let's say this is simply a list of my Facebook friends. I would tag it as Facebook. I can hit continue here. TEAMZY is going to automatically map that file. It's going to put the phone numbers with the phone numbers, email addresses with email addresses, and so on. I'm going to hit continue again. The system is going to move me through to the next step in the process. But wait, Jay, you said 3 steps. Yes, and we've completed those 3 steps with flying colors. You've set your income goal, you created your powerful why, and you've imported your contacts. Now that you've completed the meat of setup, TEAMZY needs a little more information from you. In order for it to really pull out all of the stops for you in the way that it's going to every day, where it's going to actually tell you who to connect with and when, you need to actually establish your priority amongst your database. It's the only way for TEAMZY to know who you want to spend more of your time, energy, and resources with every day. So what we'll do is you're going to take a hard look at every prospect, customer, and every existing coach, and you're going to say, you know what? These are my 5 stars, people that I want to connect with every 30 days like clockwork. That really has to be the takeaway at this stage, okay? That every single starred ranking in TEAMZY corresponds to a default follow-up. This is allowing you to make sure no one falls through the cracks, okay? But then you're also not having to waste time with individuals who have already told you where you stand, okay? So you're gonna get to go through and say, these are my 5 stars. I wanna connect with them every 30 days at a minimum. My 4 stars, every 60 days at a minimum. My 3 stars, every 90 days. My 2 stars, every 120 days. And then my 1 stars will simply never come up for follow-up. So I like to use my 1 stars as kind of a holding tank, guys, especially for my Facebook list, because it brings in all of my fellow coaches, you know, from teams all over the place, people that I don't necessarily need to be checking in with periodically. So I make them 1 stars. That way their information's on file. I can quickly serve them if I ever want to send them an email or reach out to them, but they're not going to muddy the daily follow-ups that I get. Okay, they're not going to sort of muddy the waters of my momentum or sort of get in the way of me getting through my daily follow-ups. So I recommend that you use your 1 star as kind of a holding tank for anyone that you do not want to be reminded to follow up with periodically, 30, 60, 90, 120 days. That's what your default follow-ups are going to be. 5 stars all the way down to your 1 star. When you're ready to actually embark on this process, you're going to click rank in the lower right-hand corner. That's going to redirect you to your team page, okay? The team page is going to be anytime you want to see a whole list of your database, every single person in there. If you want to see a list of your customers, a list of your coaches, again, everyone, go ahead and click on your team tab. That's going to be sort of the keeper of lists. From this team page, TEAMZY has automatically enabled rank mode. Again, that's just because I'm coming right out of the setup wizard, okay? It's kind of holding my hand so that I complete all of the steps that I need to. So it's displayed rank mode. So it's displaying everyone's active rank in the system right now. It gives everyone a 3-star rank, kind of like a default safety net, so that nobody falls through the cracks, even if it takes you a little bit of time to get through that 200, 500, 1,000 names. You would go through and you would basically just establish the new ranking. Oh, okay, you know what, Marlo's a 4-star. Oh, actually, Rachel's on another team. Laura, you're a 4-star. The point here is that you simply click the new ranking. The system does an automatic save, allowing you to move on to the next item, okay? If I come across someone that, for whatever reason, does not need to be in my database at all, I can click the little tiny trash can to the right of their ranking, and that will allow me to delete them outright from the database, moving the next person up the list. You would go down the list and cherry pick, okay? I know this can be sort of an overwhelming stage for a lot of people. I don't want this to be the hurdle or the reason that you don't move forward with the system. What we're trying to derive here is basically who is the most important to you? Who do you want to be prompted to connect with immediately? So go through in the beginning and try and pick out or cherry pick your 4 and your 5 stars. Everyone else is in that 3-star phase, okay, where they can sort of hang out there. They'll start to come up every 90 days, and then you can sort of readjust them as you move along. But in the beginning, you really want to pick out your 4 and your 5 stars so that they can start to come up for automatic follow-up. Okay, so as I'm going down this list, again, I would simply adjust the ranking so that the person, so that the new starred ranking is highlighted. Going down the list, I might come across another name that I want to delete. The delete option will be available for me. As you're going through this setup portion, you might have information you want to add. You're definitely going to be consolidating lists, so you might have an email address here, a phone number there. In that case, TEAMZY does not currently have a merge function, okay? Our awesome engineers are looking for the best solution for that, but right now it does not exist in our system. So you might find that, oh, the email address didn't come through from my phone or from LinkedIn or what have you. In that case, let's say I now have Marlo's email address. I will click on the person's name within the list. This becomes their active profile here to the right. You'll see the person's name at the top. I can scroll down and adjust things like their tag information. So if I also know that Marlo is interested in a certain product, I can tag him by product. Let's say, I can create a tag for Shift Shop. I can now add anyone else to that that's interested in or already participating in that product. Then I can pull a list that will only show me the people that are interested in Shift Shop. I can send a bunch of emails. I can do a bunch of follow-ups. These are just allowing you to sort of scrub down lists as you're going through your setup process without having to stop and do it in the middle of your power hour, okay? So you can go ahead and add as many tags or as few as you'd like, and then scroll down, you'll notice you've got a follow-up line. This follow-up line pertains to Marlowe only. So right now it's telling me that Marlowe has a default follow-up setup. He's a 4-star. So that means 60 days. Every 60 days, Marlowe's coming up. But no, you know what? My flowing spreadsheet here, follow up with Marlowe on Saturday. Some of you might have that awesome spreadsheet that has a column that you're already tracking the next time that you want to follow up with that person. Set it in TEAMZY so that you're not having to check multiple locations every time that you want to do your follow-ups for the day. I can go ahead and say, you know what, no, actually I'm going to follow up with Marlowe in 2 days, in 4 days, or by a custom date from the calendar. I'm going to check in with him on Saturday. That now becomes his active follow-up. I do not need to reach for a calendar. I do not need to grab my Post-it notes or update my Excel spreadsheet. Everything lives in one system. So go ahead and add your follow-ups as you're getting set up in the system. The next line is going to be the member type. You're going to have lists that are coming in from Facebook, from LinkedIn, basically any list that comes in from anywhere but your Beachbody back office. You need to tell TEAMZY, is this person an existing prospect, an existing customer, or an existing coach? I would say, oh, you know what, actually Marlowe's a coach. But is he a personally sponsored coach? Is he a coach from a fellow team, maybe a member of your downline? So know that you have the option to get super specific with your team identifiers. So I'll say, you know what, he's a personally sponsored coach. If I scroll down far enough, I will have detailed information, things like contact-based details, email address, phone number, social media links. I've got personal details, birthdays, spouses' names, children's names. Basically things that just help me serve people better, okay? Kind of personalize my service for them. So I would, if I have a piece of information that I want to add, again, you can click the person's name from the list. This opens up their active profile. If I come down, if I know I've got Marlowe's email address, I can click here, I'll type in Marlowe's email. If I click anywhere else on the screen, the system gives me my success message, meaning it's done an automatic save and I can simply move on to the next detail or the next person, okay? So you just add the information and keep moving. Anything that doesn't fit nicely in these fields, anything that you learn about your customers, coaches, or prospects that will help you serve them moving forward, you should definitely track that. You have a little notepad. So in addition to any of those, you know, the obvious fields in the profile, you can just basically click in here and jot down anything that you need to. You know, life-changing things, things that it's important for you to know so that the next time they come up for follow-up, it'll be nice for you to reference. They were battling an illness, if you want to check in with them. They celebrated a milestone, if you want to check in with them, or something like that. Know that you've got your notes area that will let you just, again, make a note to you from you. This is not getting sent to the client or the customer or the coach. Okay, so as I'm connecting with that person, like I said, I can go ahead and add information into the profile that I need to. I usually get the question about social media links. Now, what are social media links? Why should I be copying and pasting social media links? When we're talking about a power hour, a focused amount of time where you need to get every single ounce out of those minutes, it's going to be important to have quick tools that help you sort of navigate or toggle to and from platforms, because you can't do everything in TEAMZY. So when you're actually ready to send your messages, for example, if you want to send a message through Facebook, through Twitter, through Instagram, or LinkedIn, those messages need to be sent through those platforms. They do not allow active syncs, okay? So in this case, if, you know what, Eric and I are now Facebook friends, I can find Eric's name on this list. This now becomes his active profile. If I find Eric on Facebook, I would simply search for the person. It's going to bring up their full profile. Your social media links are the URL link, okay? So where it says is going to be the URL link. So where you see facebook.com, if you click there, it's more than likely going to become facebook.com / the person's full name. So you just want to do a copy, bring it over to T. I drag it right into the Facebook field. Clicking anywhere else, it does an automatic save message. Now moving forward, instead of me having to search for Eric the way that I just did, if I click on his link, it's going to automatically drop me on his profile. I can send a message and move on. During the Power Hour session here in a minute, I'm going to show you exactly how to use that tool. Okay, so that's going to basically be how you add information, edit details in a nutshell. Okay, as you're getting in there and you're adding more information, as you're adding more details, you're going to stumble across more features. I'm going to talk more about some of those features during the Power Hours. So we're just going to quickly wrap up setups, and then we'll talk about Power Hours. Okay, so when you were going through your ranking process, I showed you how easy it was to go down the list. Let's say you want to take a look at where everyone falls as far as a type is concerned. Are they a prospect? Are they a customer? Or are they a coach? So if I were to actually click right above the list of names, type mode, this will let me see, oh, okay, you know what, actually these people are customers, these are coaches, and again, some are going to be easier than others. Go through and cherry pick the people that jump out at you. This way you can kind of reestablish where people fall or that they're in the right category so that you can start reaching out to them when TEAMZY prompts you to, okay? So during setup, major takeaways. Have I completed my setup wizard, right? Have I set my income goal? Have I created my powerful why? Have I imported my contacts? Once I've got those 3 steps done, now I want to focus on prioritizing my database. Have I established who has the highest priority in my list? Have I also readjusted my categories? Is everyone that's supposed to be a customer in the customer pool? Is everyone that's supposed to be in the coaches pool in the coaches pool? Okay? So in that case, you can always select that type mode on your team page. Again, it's just going to let you see everyone's active type versus everyone's active rank, which is left of it there, okay? You can always come back to this stage. This is not something that has to be a one and done deal. You don't have to finish every single rank. This list will evolve. If you are doing this right, the relationships are going to change, they're going to grow, they're going to deepen. So in that, always you can come back to team page. It's going to list for you every single contact in your database, whether they were manually added one at a time or if they were imported. From here, if you want to quickly do some rank changes, remember, right above the list of names, you have rank mode. If you click on rank mode, that's going to display everyone's active rank. If you click on type mode, that's going to display everyone's active type, allowing you to make some of those readjustments quickly and on the fly. Okay? So that's going to be your setup. Have I done all of my ranking, prioritizing, and ultimately, do I have the information I need to make my initial connection or to reach out to them next? And that is going to be set up in a nutshell, guys. Okay? So come along with me. Let's take a look at Power Hours. All right, when we're talking Power Hours in TEAMZY, you are definitely going to be on your dashboard, okay? Your dashboard is going to be a virtual accountability partner, guys, okay? Even if you don't have a success partner on the team, if you're thinking, oh, I don't have an accountability partner just yet, that's okay. TEAMZY has one built right in. So based on that income goal that we just went through and we set, right? How much money do you want to make over the next 12 months? TEAMZY pumped out for you how many prospect connections, how many customer, how many coaches, how many invites, and how many additions you need to have every single day in order to stay on track with your income goal. So in that case, this is how you're going to log in and read your dashboard every day. Your daily activities. This is going to be sort of like your marching orders. Okay, what do I need to do? For those of us that love to time block, okay, what I do is I log in, I find out what my goal is for the day. Okay, I have 6 prospects to connect with. The number underneath the category is going to be your total goal. I've got 6 left. I have 4 customers, 3 coaches. Okay, then from there, I would basically ballpark how long it would take me to do those reach outs, okay? And then I also check how many custom follow-ups I have. And then I sort of allot how much time I would need to reach out. That's just something that you can do. But ultimately, that's how you're going to log in and read your daily activities. Prospect, customer, and coaches. You would take it one category at a time. So I know I have 6 prospects to connect with. I am going to scroll down to my Who's Up Next section. This is the game changer, okay? This is what sets TEAMZY apart, because not only have we allowed you to set your own goals, yes, those goals have corresponding action items, but now you actually know who to complete those action items with. Amazing, right? Because even though I know I've got 6 prospects to connect with, that's fine. I've got a list of 6,000 prospects. Where do I start, right? That's why it's important for you to go through and establish that priority. Who do you want to spend more of your time, energy, and resources on? Okay, TEAMZY has now arranged for me my list of prospects by priority, bringing up my 5 stars first, then my 4 stars, then my 3 stars, and so on. I see that Eric Johnson is the first person up for follow-up. Eric is coming up because I haven't logged a connection in TEAMZY in the last 30 days. Remember, those are going to be based on defaults, right? 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. If you ever need a reminder, if you're wondering, I don't know what the cycle is, to the right of the word who's up next, right on the dashboard, you should have a little question mark. And if you click that, it's going to give you your breakdown. 5-star every 30 days, 4-star every 60, and so on. All right, so again, Eric Johnson is coming up for follow-up here because he's the next prospect that I have not connected with in the last 30 days. Pardon me. You'll notice that TEAMZY has opened up a conversation box here to the right. So this is going to allow me to basically just jump right in there and jot down what we're talking about. But let's say this is the real world and you just brought in a list of like 500 Facebook friends, people you need to reconnect with, people you might not remember how you became friends with them to begin with. You're going to want to kind of reference some of the information that you brought into the system. Do not reach for your Excel spreadsheet. Don't grab for the paper and pen, okay? The version that you've got just sitting by you. Lean into the information you added to TEAMZY right from the dashboard. I can access Eric's activity. That would let me see, you know, have I tracked any activity with Eric until now? I would see a running track of every message I've sent him. If I click on details, I'll see, oh, that's right, I've got an email address for him, a phone number, and oh, yeah, we're Facebook friends. Just trying to kind of let you know how those tags are going to be beneficial for you, okay? Even though we set the tag on the team page, it's visible from places like the dashboard or from your mobile device when you're on the go. So that these things are going to be, like I said, quick identifiers, great ways for you to kind of have a takeaway without going through and sort of doing the whole research and background on every single person you reach out to. So if at one glance I know that Eric and I are Facebook friends, I can, you know what, I'm going to send Eric a Facebook message. I could, if I know what I'm going to say, jump right into Facebook and fire off that message. But for some of us, we might not know what to say to every single lukewarm prospect, right? Sometimes that can be the hardest part, knowing where to start the conversation. So in that, TEAMZY has a really awesome tool known as scripts and dialogues built right in, so that anytime you're getting into your conversations or you're connecting with people, you always have that to lean into. So in the upper right-hand corner of this little area for Eric, I'll notice that there's a script button with the little tiny light bulb icon. If I click on that, it's going to break down for me how I want to now connect with this person. Do I want to send him a Facebook message, an email, a text, and so on, okay? So I would go ahead and select Facebook message. It's going to bring up a bunch of different messages that I might have pre-written. I can also at this stage save scripts that I may have created myself that I want to reuse in the future. So just know that the script option is available for you. Let's say this is the first connection for Eric and I can copy that script. Because the message needs to be sent through Facebook, I do a quick copy here, okay, at the very bottom of that white box. Now this is just my process, okay? I do like an actual paste right in here so that I know exactly what I'm sending the person. It lets me update the name. I can, you know, add my little nicety or personalize it or what have you, but then I do another copy. And then I would go over to Facebook. But let's say I didn't have Facebook open and Eric's profile wasn't open just like that. But earlier you watched me save Eric's social media link. So instead of going to Facebook, I can click on details and then just click right on the word Facebook here. The system is now going to automatically drop me right on Eric's Facebook page. I can quickly hit message and hit send. Again, this is something that can in fact help, okay, when you're getting into your power hours just to connect with more people. It just kind of streamlines the process, but you don't have to use that tool. Okay, so let's say now that I'm in Eric's profile, I can go ahead and hit message here. I'm going to drop this message in here and send. I'll come back over to TEAMZY. I'll tell TEAMZY, okay, that's the message I sent, but now I'm going to indicate how I sent the message. I sent the message through Facebook. Am I inviting him to take action on anything? Nope, just basically a check-in, so I can go ahead and log this connect. This automatically sends a message to my dashboard. I've completed one of my prospect connections. It's removed Eric from that list of prospects, and it brought up the next person based on priority. So it's always going to be running a filter, okay, kind of scrubbing my list down for me. Who is the next most important person? And I would just connect with them. Once I get through all of my prospect connections, I would move over to the customer list, because TEAMZY is now going to arrange a list of my customers by priority so that I can just start reaching out. Same will go for my coaches list. Now, as I'm reaching out to people, let's say Laura comes up for follow-up, and we are chatting about upcoming challenge group. You can make these areas, okay, just as a side note, as detailed or not so detailed as you want them to be. This is a notation to you, from you, for the future, okay? So I can say that we chat about challenge group, but you know what? She has to run right now. I really want to follow up tomorrow with all of the details. So, okay, we spoke by phone. Oh, I am inviting her to join me for my challenge group. So I would check mark that it's an invite, and then I would actually indicate what type of an invite it is. It's a challenge group invite, but you know what? If I look here in the upper right-hand corner, it tells me that Laura is not going to come up until her default, which she's a 4-star, so 60 days. But really, I want to check in with her tomorrow. Don't reach for the calendar. Don't grab the Post-it notes. Set your follow-up right in TEAMZY. So I can say, you know what? No. I'm going to check in with her tomorrow, in 2 days, in 4 days, in 1 year and 3 days. You can essentially select your date from the calendar. That will be the date that TEAMZY reminds you to check in or follow up with that person. Okay? So I will say, you know what? I want to follow up with her the 17th. I will log that connect. A few things will happen this time. My prospect connection has been tracked, so I now know that I've done 2 of my 6. An invite has been tracked, and it removed her from my list of prospects. But wait, Jay. I just said a follow-up. Where do I find my follow-ups? How do I know where they are? Not to worry, okay? Right on your dashboard without going anywhere else. Don't click any other pages. You can select your follow-ups list. This is going to arrange for you any of those custom follow-ups that you may have set, okay? So every day you have your marching orders, you know what your action items are, okay? I've got 10 prospects to connect with. Here's the list of prospects. 4 customers, here's the list of customers. Coaches, here's the list of coaches. And then your follow-up list will be for any of those custom reach outs that you need to do, that you're following up about an item in particular, okay? These follow-ups, this little follow-up list will have a little notification. There will be a little circle right above the word follow-ups here, where it will actually say a number 1 or a number 2, indicating to me that, oh, I need to check this list because I have a pending follow-up for that day. And that's going to be how easy it is to set follow-ups right in TEAMZY, okay? So not only is TEAMZY setting that safety net, no one goes more than their minimum time frame, but then it also gives you that customization so that you can monitor your follow-ups. Check in as frequently as you need to based on your dynamic. All right, guys, this is the perfect place to open up the floor to questions that you might have. I know, like sipping from a fire hose, I kind of warned you. Okay. Feel free to go ahead and jump in the chat feature just so you can ask any questions you might have specifically. I am going to share my contact information, okay, for any of you that may need to jump off the call. Thank you so much for your time. I appreciate it. And after I address each of those questions, I will jump back in and share a few more of my favorite features. So if you've got the time, hang tight, okay? Let's see here. Let me not make a liar of myself. Okay, contact information's up on screen. Let me check the chat. Feel free to screenshot that or just jot that down. I will put it back up toward the end of the call. Okay, guys, I'm going to go ahead and pull that contact information down. I will put that back up, like I said, toward the end, and let's jump into some of our questions. Okay, so Kelly wants to know, okay, so it looks like Kelly has been with us for a while. Awesome. Thank you so much for being a TEAMZY user. Sounds like you did set up back at the beginning when we first released TEAMZY. Maybe you didn't have some of these tips and you're thinking, I'd like to redo it or kind of walk it back. So couple of different answers, okay? You've got a few different options of sorts. So we can absolutely wipe everything and have you start fresh. We can connect you and I can walk you through the best way for doing that. Or you can always update the lists that already exist in TEAMZY. Because a lot of times when I get this question, people are thinking, oh, well, I've added just like a ton of people through social, or, you know, I've cleaned up my list a lot. What you can do in that case is you can import an updated Facebook list or an updated LinkedIn connections list, or any of those that maybe you've added people to. TEAMZY will screen out people that already exist, and it will bring in only your new additions, allowing you to sort of quickly update your list. Other than that, if you wanted to start fresh, if you're thinking for whatever reason, you know, maybe your information is just a little bit muddier than you want it to be and it's just a lot of manual work, let's connect one-on-one. I'll take a good look on the back end and kind of advise you on what the best way would be to either, you know, like I said, wipe it out completely, or to update those lists by just bringing in the updated download from wherever the source was. Okay, feel free to jump in there and ask me clarifying questions if I didn't really hit it on the head just then. Okay. Let's see here. Okay, so Kelly wants us to know, which I have to share because I love this stuff. Kelly wants us to know that her favorite feature in TEAMZY is the follow-up function. Awesome. So the fortune is in the follow-up, guys. I'm telling you, but this makes it super easy, okay? I showed you guys how you can access your 5 follow-ups from the dashboard. If at any point you're really cranking, you're thinking, I know I have 10 for today. The left-hand side of your screen, you've got team page. If we click there, middle left of your screen, you've got additional sort options, sort or filter. So if we come down to upcoming under follow-ups, this will give you a running track of every single follow-up you have coming year to date, not just the top 5. All right, let's see here. Okay, so Kayla has a question about pricing for TEAMZY. So TEAMZY absolutely has both the monthly and the annual option. So when you are ready to consider your subscription, in the upper right-hand corner of your TEAMZY, where we started at that wheel, go ahead and click there and then come down to settings. Once you select settings, you've got billing, second from the bottom under preferences. This page is awesome. It's gonna let you know exactly when you can expect your trial access to expire, and then you can scroll down and sort of vet your options between the monthly or the annual subscription. Now, the annual option does, in fact, save you $60 up front. TEAMZY is a 100% business write-off, okay? So you take the discount and then you write it off. Okay, guys, so just simply food for thought. You've got the monthly or the annual option. The annual does come with that discount. Okay, let's take a look here. Okay, guys, I think that's all of the questions that I've got in the chat. I'm gonna jump back in and share with you a few more of my favorite features. You guys feel free to jump in there and ask any other questions that kind of come to mind, okay? So what usually comes up at this stage is, you know, how can I access this on the go? We'd all love to be able to do this from these magical little devices that are at our fingertips, and you can, okay? So we have not yet released a TEAMZY app. So you do not have to go to your app store. What you want to do instead is you want to put in what you see in my URL bar now. So you want to just go to your mobile device, open up Chrome or Safari or whatever you choose to use on your device, and you want to type in what you see in my URL bar now. So app.teamzy.com. The word app.teamzy.com. Once you've got that in, you're going to go ahead and log in. It'll look just like your login page. Save your login credentials so you don't have to do it every time. And then here is, I'm just gonna stop my share because unfortunately it doesn't let me share my mobile right now. Okay, so I hope the glare doesn't. So this is actually my TEAMZY app. So if I tap on this, this is actually gonna load my dashboard so that I can quickly see who I need to, well, if I had saved my login credentials, it would go ahead and log me right into my dashboard so that I could see how many people I need to connect with. I would have all of my wheels and my circles here. Let me go ahead and do a quick login. Okay, so that's kind of what it would look like from your, sorry, my glare is not trying to cooperate today. So there are my circles for the day. I know my goals. If I scroll down far enough, I'll actually see who I need to connect with so that I can get in there and track connections on the go, so that I can add people in real time as I meet them, face-to-face and belly-to-belly, or some of these social media, if you accept friend requests, it's nice to just pop over to TEAMZY, get the people in their follow-up cycle so they can start getting a reach out every 30, 60, or 90 days. But kind of doing it from the mobile device makes that a little easier, okay? So if you need help adding that to your home screen so that it looks and behaves like an app, go ahead and reach out to me directly and I'd be happy to help. The instructions are a little different for the Android versus the iPhone. Okay, so that's gonna be how you access things on the go. As you start to connect with people, I spoke to you guys earlier and mentioned that you have to send Facebook messages through Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, text messages through those platforms. If you subscribe directly, it's always right toward the end of the call, sorry guys. So you can actually link your Gmail to your TEAMZY and it will let you send emails directly. So it's as simple as selecting the type. So let's say I was connecting with Claudia, I could select send email with the word new by it. It's going to open up an email platform for me because I've already done my Gmail link, okay? So now what it's gonna let me do is basically create the body of my email, or if you have some killer email templates that you want to save on file, you can actually reuse them moving forward. So what's awesome is I could browse script, select an email. Oh, you know what? I'll use my 21-day fix email. I'll select send as email, drop the person's name in there, and hit send. And it'll be just that easy. Tools, features like this are going to make it possible to start 10, 15, 20 conversations in 1 hour. In 1 hour. You don't have to be particularly, quick talking like me or anything like that. So keep in mind that you simply want to leverage all of the tools that I'm mentioning to you, okay? Am I accessing this on the go? Am I using my Gmail function so that I can send emails right there in the system? Keeping in mind that you can, in fact, include hyperlinks. So if you want to get to before and after pictures, videos, things like that, you can do that right in the system. And you can save them and reuse them as you move forward. All right, guys, so that's going to be your Gmail function. Before my voice completely gives out on me, the last few features that I want to go over with you guys, we started all of this tonight by chatting through your income goal, right? We started talking about how important it was to know where you were headed. So it's going to be important to know how close you are, how far you are from meeting that goal as you move through your day. You've got a business tab along the left-hand side. This is going to be great for displaying your business statistics. You've got your total income right now, so that's going to let you know, okay, here's your goal. You've got a goal of $100,000. It looks like I've tracked 20K toward my goal so far. What I would do if I want to track income is I would simply click the little plus symbol here or add income upper right-hand corner of that white space. Either of which is basically going to give me an itemized income report. I can pop in here and say I made, I don't know, 200 bucks from the first of the month until now. Or if you're just kind of catching up with your year, if you want to just, if you're getting started with TEAMZY now, but you want to kind of account for everything you've made so far, you can pop in there and say, this is what I made from January until today. It's basically a date range and an income amount. And you'll notice TEAMZY is going to create an itemized report for you. This itemized report is going to be another really great accountability tool, especially when you're working toward a specific goal. Okay, so that's going to be your income goal. Other areas on your business page, it's going to display my total number of personally sponsored customers and personally sponsored coaches. If I come down far enough, I've got a growth report displaying for me growth between customers and coaches group. I've got how many activities I'm focusing on my prospects versus my customers and my coaches. If I come down far enough, I will actually have access to an itemized activity report. So for my paper and pen guys and gals who are sort of weaning themselves off, this is a really great way to sort of, I need to see a list of everything that I did today so I can check it off. Not to worry. I'm the girl that adds things to a checklist just to see it checked off. So please get in there. You can pull a list of everything that you've done. And what's awesome about this is I can filter this report. So I can say, you know what, I want to see invites, but only invites for my challenge groups. And now I can do follow-ups. So even if you're not creating a follow-up list as you go along, if you're not setting people for follow-ups, it's just a kind of another way that you can sort of leverage that tool in the system. All right, guys, I promise I've given you everything that I wish to give you for today. I'm gonna go ahead and check the chat one more time, answer any questions you might have. I really appreciate your time. I know it's a lot. If you take away just one thing from today, what could it be? What could you implement in your business that could be a game changer? Maybe a free 30-day trial of a CRM? All right, guys, along the way, if you need help, please reach out. I'm gonna check the chat, ask any other questions you might have. Awesome, Jess. I'm glad you learned a little bit too on the call. Fantastic. Okay, so Sarah wants to know, as far as the subscription options, if she chooses the monthly now, can she upgrade to the annual? Absolutely. So the monthly option is simply month to month. So at any point you can adjust that subscription. You can say, for whatever point, for whatever reason, I need to put my account on hold, or I need to up this to the annual so I can get that discount. You have the option. Let's see here. Okay, so Kelly wants to know, how can we edit our tags? So I have Butterfinger, so I'm always entering the wrong like product name. I read it afterward and it's like, no, it's not called Shake Shop. What? No. So in that case, you'll come over to your team page. You'll notice middle left here, we've got additional filters, right? Customers, coaches, prospects, and our tags. So if I had messed up Shift Shop, I would click right on that. It's going to list for me the actual, everyone that's in that tag. Right above the list of names, I've got tag options, and I can edit or delete. Excuse me. And then, or you can just remove that person from the tag if you'd like. So those are going to be your tag options. So you can edit, delete anytime along the way. Again, creating as many or as few as you need. Let's see here. So Kelly wants to know, is there a way to view the daily totals like on a dashboard for a past day instead of only the activity history? So Kelly, yes, there is. So I get really excited when my engineers build in features that you guys have been asking for a lot, that I've just been telling them and just berating them about. This is one of those. So we have built in a really great way to not only track your function, okay, or your features and how many connections you're doing, the activities and things like that, but you can actually track your team's progress as well. For that, you're going to head over to your team report. This team report is going to arrange your totals first. So you'll be able to see your connections, your follow-up invites, your percentage complete against your goal. And then what's awesome here is you can actually set a date range. So right above the list of names, you'll see today, or you can go back and say, you know what did I do for the week? Or what have I done for the month? And that will go ahead and rearrange your totals by date range. What's awesome is you can start to invite your team members and actually display their totals. So if as a team, you guys have different challenges, or if you're working towards something in particular, you guys can get in there and motivate and keep each other accountable, okay? So that's gonna be that reporting function. Let's see here. So Brooke is having trouble uploading her Facebook contacts. Okay, so you haven't finished yet. Not necessarily have a problem yet. So what you want to do in your case, you've exported your information from Facebook. So you're looking at that zipped file. So what I want you to do is I want you to open up the zipped file. I'm going to show you on my Mac. I'm not sure if you're a PC user, but it's very similar, okay? You're just going to head over to your downloads folder. Of course, mine's not going to populate right now because there's so much in there. Never going to happen. No. Okay, so you're looking at your downloads folder. You're going to look for it's going to be a little zipped file that says Facebook and then your name, or sometimes on PCs it says just your name. So if you double click it, it's going to unzip that folder, okay? Sometimes it takes a few minutes. It's just basically going to say unzipping right on the screen. Once it does that, you're going to see 4 separate folders: HTML, messages, photos, and videos. I want you to open up HTML. In that list, you're going to find one that says friends.html. You want to move that to your desktop, and then you're all set to import to TEAMZY. Anything else? Reach out to me directly. Alrighty. All right, guys, I think that has come to the end of the questions in the chat. Yes, absolutely. That is a really, really great reminder for me. So our TEAMZY community is really taking off on Facebook, guys. We love to hear what you're liking, loving, what you want to see more of, things like that. So please engage with us. Upper right-hand corner of your TEAMZY, you've got a little community link that'll take you right to our page. And that way you can let us know, again, what are you liking, what things would you like to see change, any feedback, suggestions, things like that. So that's going to be your community page. As you're going through, if you realize you've got questions or you need help and for whatever reason you don't have my contact information or maybe you don't want to talk to me, in the lower right-hand corner of your TEAMZY, there's a help button. You can click that. It gets you a direct link to us, to our live support team here in-house. There's a good chance you'd be talking to me, anywho, and I'm happy to help. So you've got your help button in the lower right-hand corner. You've got your community option that will let you kind of interact with us directly. If you're more of a DIY kind of guy or gal, if you're thinking, I want to try and figure this out on my own, your university tab on the left-hand side. This university tab is actually going to outline for you different FAQs, tutorial videos, webinars, things like that based on your network. So we'd come over to FAQs for Team Beachbody, and this will be where you'll find the instructional video for getting your Facebook contacts in, your customers and your coaches list from Beachbody, your LinkedIn connections, and then if you wanted to import your CSV file. Okay, so each of those is, if you click on it, it's basically going to have a video on top that you can watch and then actual step-by-step instructions. So that kind of gives you a way to get go look or bring anybody on the team up to speed, anything like that. All right, guys, I think that is everything that I have got for you this evening. Please feel free to unmute yourselves if you have any other questions. I think we're rocking it out with a relatively small group now. I'm going to put my contact information up again as you go. It's been a pleasure.
Yay! Thank you so much, Jay. You are amazing. I had some people that had to jump off, but they are really excited about signing up tonight. So we should have some new TEAMZY friends after tonight, which I'm really, really excited about. So thank you guys for all hopping on here. And yes, the community has just been amazing. So once you sign up for TEAMZY, you'll be put in the TEAMZY community, which I use all the time. Because I'm constantly needing to reminders on how things work. But you guys are awesome. Thanks so much for being here, Jay. You're awesome. I can't wait to chat with you more about some more questions that I have later. So thank you guys for coming.
Fantastic. Thanks for being here, guys. I appreciate you. I'll stick around a little while longer. If you have any other questions, feel free to unmute yourselves as you go.
Thanks.
Thank you.